Okay.
You know what I want to see in Afterbirth Plus?
No. What do you want to see?
16 character seeds. It's like, sure, there's already the possibility of having like literally a quadrillion permutations, but why not make it like even more?
18 quintillion.
It's got a
Exactly.
small rock. That's not bad.
Yeah, I saw Razorblade. I didn't see Small Rock when I said that.
I mean, the speed's not even bad.
First item's not terrible either. Just, don't break it because you don't have much health.
Don't break it because you don't have much health.
You don't get
It's
cards.
the Vandal's Brick. It's a 2/2 defender with prowess. No, okay.
Yeah?
Wrong game.
2/2
range.
Defender with Prowess, Miles Tails Prower, Sonic and Knuckles.
If you
Sonic
get
Adventure 3, Escape from the City.
All right. Escape
it's
from
all
the city. Los Angeles riots. NWA's fuck the police. Ice Cube. Cubes of ice. An ice cold Pepsi at your favorite restaurant, Papa John's.
Coca-Cola Glass. Cola.
Are we just
Green
shouting out
Cola
random
Nut.
things like a circle poem?
I'm really happy that you came in and stopped us, because as soon as I started, like I enabled that bit by responding to Nick's bit with my own bit. I said to myself, I don't really like this bit very much, and it did seem like it could go on forever. So I'm happy that
I was
it's
scared.
over.
I used to write
Just
circle
free
poems like
association
that
word.
in high school.
How do you do? What is a circle poem?
That's where you
It's like a
start with
circle
one
jerk, but
thing,
harder.
and it's like cloud, rain, lightning, water, cup,
Final Fantasy IV.
and then eventually you have to get back to your original item. You think of one thing, it leads you to another, and then you have to get back to your original starting word, basically.
All right. Well, what if we just did a circle poem? I'm gonna start just off the top of my head. I want Nick to go second. I'm gonna say some.
Buddy.
Else,
No, go
Dude,
on.
we're making a story now.
No,
Like-
I'm out.
I don't
out.
like circle poems either because we attempted.
I'm never
to
doing
sing,
that again. That went really badly.
to sing All Star by Smash Mouth, and Cobalt wants to read an original work.
Once.
No.
Damn
You
it!
can't do it now. You can't.
Can't
the
do it.
genie's
The
out of the
magic's
bottle.
gone.
Failure.
But it's okay. Josh would have done the
blushing.
same thing.
I thought
have
I know
to
we were singing
understand.
songs.
I have a Smash Mouth intuition. As soon as somebody once told me about the world, I learned the Smash Mouth words right away.
You know what's funny is that
what?
in my head I was like, I'm gonna say somebody, but then I said, even though somebody's one word, I think Nick will just get it with some. And then he did, and I was not even surprised. It's like that's exactly how I would have expected it to go.
There's some kind of friendship link there, where you finish each other's sentences and stuff.
Finish each other's Smash Mouths.
Mm-hmm.
We got the social link. The what's the shell called? There's like a Final Fantasy item where you link together.
Materia.
No, it's like a
I
social
love materia.
I also
Link shell.
am living in a materia world.
Speaking of materia, that Final Fantasy remake looking pretty interesting.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah. I
Is there
don't know
new
about
info on
that.
that or something?
Yeah, was there new info on?
My stream was saying it's looking real bad. So.
Oh, really?
Based
yeah.
on what?
So let's hope Final Fantasy 15's not the flop either. I guess I don't know. I kind of lost faith after Lightning returns.
Wait, we already think the Final Fantasy remake is a flop, and now we're assuming that 15
Yep.
is going to be a flop?
Yep.
I'm honestly, I'm thinking 16's already probably junk.
16 might be where it's at. I don't know.
I know almost
I think that's
literally
the
nothing
redemption.
about either of those games.
Have you guys ever played Final Fantasy games?
Yeah, I love them.
Thank
Well,
you.
If
some-
Captain.
I'm being honest, I've only played 7 Final Fantasy Legend 1 for the original Game Boy
Oh,
and
God.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Oh God, Mystic Quest.
Mystic Quest, apparently, because when I grew up, Mystic Quest was like the Final Fantasy game that people were like, ooh, that one's really bad. It's now apparently pretty well regarded.
People, I was wondering that too. I was like, are we talking about the same game? Because when I played this, it was like Super Mario World meets Final Fantasy, where you have to like go progress through the stages and whatnot. And I don't know. My friend bought it for me for my birthday when it was like $5 on sale at Blockbuster. It was like, here you go. I think you like these type of games, right? I was like, yeah,
That's a
sure.
true friend.
It's kind of nice for your friend to buy you a video game for no reason.
He would
not
always
that nice.
go for my birthday to Blockbuster and buy me the on-sale clearance video games, so I'd end up with like really shitty car games that I never played, or I mean, we were just kids, so you know, it was a nice thought, but.
Do you remember any of the shitty car games out of curiosity?
Gran Turismo.
You say Beetle Adventure Racing.
One of them. It was N64, so.
No!
Well, that's exactly the right platform for Beetle Adventure Racing.
It might be Beetle Adventure Racing now that I
Don't you
think
dare.
about it. No,
Don't
it was.
do it.
It wasn't. It was some other game. I probably still have it sitting around in a box somewhere at home.
Hey, give me the seat again.
Oh, sure.
Did you die?
You
I
went too hard on the devil deal, I bet.
took both the devil deals.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Played the demon judgment. I did some stuff to try to get a little zany.
All right. Seed is 64Q2
Okay.
SXE0.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Good luck.
That's what I get. That's what I get.
Just trying to live like a wild man.
Yeah, I was making those low percentage plays. You gotta do it sometimes.
You can't resist them.
I
They're
can't
like
resist a low
siren
percentage
salt to
play.
you.
That's the truth.
My tears just flop right down at my feet.
Yeah, that's extremely low range.
What the fuck
Good
is
damage,
Beetle
though.
Adventure Racing? I don't know,
Yo.
Chad. I don't know.
Beetle Adventure Racing is pretty good, man.
Never heard of
Play
it.
as a Volkswagen Beetle, and you race through such themed towns as Halloween Town and Metropolis Town.
Metropolis
fun.
Town.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
there's a
does
city
Superman
and like
fly
a
over you?
town, and it's good stuff.
You go through Gotham Town as well? Or is that
I
Halloween
definitely
Town?
should stream that game because I had a lot of fond memories of that when I was a kid.
You got an
Oh.
N64 capable capture card?
I was watching
Yeah.
you play Metroid last night, actually.
Dude, AM2 are so good.
So, you said Nintendo disclaimed it or made it not a Metroid game or something?
Well, no, it's a fan game. They tried to basically
Oh.
remade Metroid 2, which was only on Game Boy, and the developer made a new engine for Metroid games, which actually is really good, and basically recreated the whole game from scratch. And Nintendo wasn't too happy about it because, you know, it was their property and they love to be dicks about everything all the time. So they issued some sort of Millennium Takedown notice, and they weren't allowed to.
My favorite roller coaster at Six Flags Speeder is Cedar
Millennium
Point.
Takedown.
Millennium Takedown.
People have been flying off roller coasters lately. I saw on the news, like, in two separate places, like a
sometimes
kid
just
fell
their
off a
heads.
wooden roller coaster.
Yo, wooden roller coasters?
I had never trusted them.
There's gonna be an epidemic of wooden roller coaster deaths. Like, there's one in Vancouver that's
Yep.
been active for like 110 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it, but would I drive in an airplane that was built 110 years ago? I
Wood's
don't
not
think so.
steel, man. It's not steel. I don't trust it.
You ever heard Bernie Sanders talk about our crumbling infrastructure? Roller coasters are part of that.
I wonder if they have, like, special, like, security measures they have to take for that. Do they have to, like, check the wood for mold every so often? Or,
I imagine so, yeah.
Because
Pretty sure they just don't check them at all, like ever. Like, they
They-
don't do any inspections.
I look at them sometimes, and that's what I think. I'm like, dude, this is a little rickety. Like, this one goes upside down. I don't trust it.
The
And,
dude
like-
gets up in the morning, he goes up to the lever, he's like, lever's still there. All right, let's rock.
It's just
Pull it.
physics, man. The G-forces keep you in the car. Like wooden roller coasters, I don't know, because I'm a little anxious about roller coasters in general. I can find a reason to get anxious about any kind of roller coaster. Like if I get on a wooden roller coaster, I'm like, ooh, this thing only has a lap bar. I can fly out. And you get on like a modern steel coaster, and you're like, why does this have so many restraints? Like, Mother Nature is telling me not to get on this thing if we need this level of restraint to keep me in the car, you know?
True.
But I think I prefer being strapped in like I'm going into outer space.
Yeah, I like the legs dangling ones where you get the whole body harness.
Oh, not okay.
I love it.
Also not okay is the ones that have like no sides. You know, like you're in the car, but the car has no.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay. I want to be closed in. I want it to be like a ski lift or something.
That's how I feel at the water park when I'm going down an open tube, like thing. I'm like, I am gonna fly. I don't care if this wall is a little larger than the other ones when I'm turning the corner. I am gonna fly off this. I'm a big guy. I get some momentum behind me. It's scary.
I think I've told this story before on the show, but when I was a little kid, there was this fair that would come to town every so often in Long Island where I lived. And basically, there was this terrifying Ferris wheel there. And when I went on, I was like, this is the last ride I'm ever going on, because it was so destroyed. It made sounds you never want to hear a machine making when you're in it and your life depends on it functioning. So, you know, I did that ride. I was thoroughly traumatized by the ride because I was pretty sure I was going to die. And then a few weeks later, somebody actually fell out of it and died.
Whoa!
Oh, man.
That's crazy, dude.
It was on the news and everything. I was really kind of distraught about that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, a lot of people probably rode that in the interim period, but that's not far away from being you, though.
Yep.
You know, that's close enough to be a little frightening, I'd say.
It was a little kid, too, which made it even sadder.
Oh, I mean, man.
Anybody that dies is sad, but, like, you know, little kid.
Did he reach the minimum height to get on the ride?
I don't even know if they were checking, honestly.
Oh, that's not okay.
It was a fair. Everybody was just fucking stupid and drunk.
Oh.
Everyone's drunk at the fair?
Yeah, come throw these knives at these balloons and pop them. And you're in. Aren't they supposed to be darts? No, we're knives.
I saw that there was a post on Reddit that was like, what little trick in your industry does your industry not want people to know? And then there was a carny, and he's like, you know, at the Midway Games, they give away prizes a lot easier in the start of the fair because then you
want
are
to
walking
the population.
Exactly, you're walking around with these stuffed animals, and then you know a kid's gonna be like, "Daddy, I want that," and you're like, "Oh shit!" And then that's where they get you. But then some guy was like, "Well, I just go and I pay the carny. Like I asked the carny like basically to the side." How much is it going to cost to get one of those toys? And he gives me a number, and then I give him the cash and let my daughter play until he decides that she can win. And the comments that replied to it were like, you're teaching your daughter a terrible lesson about, you know, how society is not merit-based and blah. They're all rigged, man.
They are.
It's all an elaborate
so rigged.
freaking conspiracy. You're trying to shame this dude thinking he's like making his daughter grow up in a... You know, he's making life too easy on his daughter, buying her a stuffed animal instead of making her throw a freaking baseball at a bunch of milk bottles.
It's, like the hoops where you're playing basketball, they're like oval-shaped and shit. It's not even cool.
I legit won a solid mountain bike when I was a little kid at the boardwalk in New Jersey. And I thought nobody won those things, but I had to throw the little bottle, the circle onto the tops of the bottles, and I nailed one of them, and they were like, you got a bike. I was like, what the fuck? No one wins that.
That's pretty sick, man.
You know the ones where you have to crawl up the ladder that's like propelled, and they'll like hold it for the first half down at the bottom for you, and then when you get halfway, they just like let it go, and you just flop over. I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally legit. I was watching them do it to little kids all day, and I was just like on the sideline, just being the peanut gallery, like, rigged.
Thank you, Smokestack, for the 10 months in a row. Also, 40 days with the 5 months, and Lieutenant Atom Shibashi with the 2.
Whoa, that name.
I think also, like, I have a story. Nobody's died in my hometown at an amusement park, I think. No, by the way, nobody's ever died in my hometown ever. It's a little weird.
Canada, right?
Not even from old age.
Not even old age, you know, heart disease, stroke, cancer, nothing. Everyone's still kicking it. It's pretty weird. You know, the average age is like 300. You go to the general store and they're like, I doth decree. And you're like, oh, come on, dude. I just want a drumstick. But Kay makes fun of me because I had like a latent, well, still have like a latent anxiety about roller coasters. She loves amusement parks. So there's ample opportunity for me to face my fears, and yet never does it, you know, do I become desensitized. But anyway, he's like, why are you so scared of roller coasters? Then my mom told me a story when I was like 2. We went to the local fair, and there's that ride that goes around in a circle, but you sit in like an airplane, and then it goes like up a little bit and down a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. It's like teacups, except a little different.
Yeah, there's like an axis in the middle, and then they all go up and down, like a merry-go-round in an airplane, basically. And then she's like, yeah, but it wasn't like really well run, and the plane that you got in, like, it kept hitting this milk crate that they just left in the arc of the airplane.
Oh, no.
So it would hit the milk crate, And then like my face would go forward, and I like smashed my face on the front of the roller coaster, and came out with like a bloody nose. And now like that's why I'm afraid of roller coasters right there.
Yep. Those childhood fears.
I had the same thing with elevators for like 5 years, and then my mom was like, "Well, now that you're over your elevator fear, I can tell you that like, you know, you were in an elevator with your dad when you were like 4, and he jumped on it and then got it stuck."
Oh man!
I was like,
Jump in elevators. What is?
Why would a full adult human do that? Okay, I do it all the time.
Well, because the reason you do it is because it's not gonna happen.
Why do it though? This is like put the bar down. Why do it?
Yeah.
I mean, with regard to the bar, you should put it down. I mean, why would you not put the bar down?
Those safety, you know, features exist for a reason. You know what? Okay, here's the ultimate test. We've all been on airplanes before. We're big shots. When you land, do you take your seatbelt off immediately, or do you wait until they say, until the light comes off when you reach the jetway? Oh, you take it off right away.
No, I was thinking about it.
I pretend like mine's buckled the whole time.
That's the opposite of a victimless crime. It's an extremely potentially victimful crime.
I feel like if I'm gonna die in the air, there's nothing I can do about it, whether I'm buckled up or not, unless we hit turbulence, and my body weight's gonna hold me down in the seat anyway during that. Plus, you just gotta keep loose. Like a car wreck. You don't break your bones if you stay loose.
I don't know if the same logic applies in an airplane crash as it does in a car wreck.
There's the thing about if you're drunk, you tend to get hurt less because your muscles aren't tense.
Yeah.
You tend to get hurt less in a car accident.
Don't tense up. You know, you'll walk away from that car crash or airplane crash, no problem.
I don't know.
That's probably how that works. Yeah.
If you were a jelly man in a car or in an airplane,
yeah,
you would be fine. You might actually save some lives.
I'm very happy to not be a jelly man, because, you know, right now, if I, like, cut myself or something, I just bleed a little bit. Can you imagine cutting yourself and all the jelly oozing out and you just die?
No, that's not how it works. It self-heals.
You got a healing factor,
you just slap some Jello cream on there. It's like a Band-Aid.
What about all that turbulence when you're taxiing to the gate? Yo, look up some, like, Tenerife airport disasters, man. You are as likely to get hit on the ground as you are to have an accident in the air. You got all those airplanes taxiing around, they're big. They probably got blind spots. You know, do you think they have side mirrors on an airplane? I doubt it.
But they have a guy in a tower overlooking everything, kind of leading them on.
Yeah, he's hungover. Maybe an influx of new amazing methamphetamine has led to some familial situations which has caused him some distress.
I'm glad you went there. Somebody needed to.
He's returned to the bottle after a prolonged period of sobriety, and you know, he's not feeling his best.
Poor guy.
Forgets to tell you to look to your left, and you just touch noses with another plane. There you go.
Yo, I'm just saying, you should, until they tell you to not buckle up, you should keep it buckled up. But that being said, you should be able to use your electronic devices.
How bad could a ground crash with an airplane really be, though?
Dude,
most of them are bad.
Imagine you're taxiing to the jetway, and a landing airplane like collides with you at 600 miles an hour.
Okay, a landing airplane, yeah. I thought we were just talking about two planes rolling around waiting for their turn to go.
They hit pretty hard when they're landing. They land right on you.
Yeah, you know, force is a property of mass, man, and of math.
I mean, they have to use those big turbines to even slow themselves down. You know, they go into like overdrive when they're sucking backwards.
The afterburners.
Yeah, those guys.
The before burners.
But they have flaps as well, don't they? They lift their little flaps up too.
They got flaps and air brakes and chafe grenades and parachutes and stuff like that.
EMPs.
I wonder how much force it would take to flip a flap off.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I know when I'm in the plane next to it and it's about to, in my head, flap off, but it doesn't really, though.
Egg Cuck the Dong Smasher, thank you for the subscription.
And Kazaya, thank you for your 20 months in a row.
Have you guys booked your... Are you going to Prime this year, Nick?
No.
Oh, man, I was about to say,
no,
how much is that plane ticket
travel
right now?
I'm not doing any more travel this year. The dental costs were enough for me.
Rough.
I'll tell you what, though, I feel a lot better. Now that the infection has gone out of my head, I actually feel like I can mostly concentrate a little bit.
That's good.
Good.
Yeah,
We're gonna
finally.
need that.
How ill I was, actually.
We're gonna need
Your
that
brain's
competition.
not riddled with infection. It's probably good for a lot of states, I'd say.
I didn't know that I was in that state for all that time, really. I just thought I had, like, bad depression or something, but, you know, physical ailment,
Man.
apparently.
Yeah.
We're gonna need you in top shape for this stair game we're playing. So.
Nah,
Absolutely right.
You're all getting dodgeballed. I'll tell you that one.
Does the person, is it a real person at the top controlling
Well,
things or AI?
yeah.
What it is it's an
Okay.
asymmetrical multiplayer game where you throw dodgeballs at people trying to climb a staircase.
That
and
is
try to
dangerous.
ragdoll them down. It is, but it's just a video game, so we're gonna be fine
For now.
for now until we try this at next year's PAX East.
Until school children try to emulate it after they watch it on our show and then we're hit with a massive
that.
stay or death lawsuit. Like, come on.
Schools are always trying to ruin it for the rest of us, is what I find.
There
It's
needs
like,
to, yeah, fucking schools.
and it's like, look, I'm not done with this roller coaster thing yet, okay? Are any of you guys afraid of roller coasters, or are you like
Dude.
childlike wonder where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm stoked to get on Millennium?
I used to love them so much, and then we went to a water park / roller coaster place for our anniversary like a couple of weeks ago, and we got on one of those wooden bad boys, and oh my god, I was screaming at the top of my lungs the whole time, thinking my girlfriend was looking at me while we were on the roller coaster, laughing at me, and I was like, I could not stop screaming. I was horrified.
Part of me thinks that, you know, as a kid, you just have nothing to lose. And you're like, yeah, you know, like if I die, it's a tragedy and people will be like really sad, but it's not like, you know, I'm leaving people behind that rely on me. And then as you get older, you're like, whoa, there's actually like dying and losing my life is not the worst part of it. The worst part is it's going to fuck things up for like a whole bunch of other people.
You also have that veiled protection of thinking, well, because there's all these adults that go out of their way to
Right,
make sure
yeah.
kids can never become part of a tragedy, that somehow you're in that. But, like, the thing is, you don't know it at the time, but, like, the tragedies happen when that whole thing fails.
You
Oh yeah,
actually
and like as
have
an
a-
adult, you realize that every other adult around you has no fucking idea.
Yeah, everyone's
What's
fucking
going-
incompetent at everything they do, really.
You go
You
to
have
a
a-
restaurant, all the adults are like, do we pay at the front or do we wait for them to actually bring the bill
Yeah.
around to us? We can't even handle that, much less stop a roller coaster accident from happening.
When you're a kid, you have a sense of immortality, just like when you're 18. Like,
Yeah.
that's when you have that false sense of, like, nothing can hurt me, I'm immortal. So that's why a bunch of 18-year-olds do stupid shit. And you grow out of that, and you're like, oh, man, I better watch my ass. This thing
Yeah,
could fall
no,
apart.
Definitely something to be said about
My
it.
ass could fall apart.
I also think, though, like, that people are like, face your fears. And that does work. Like, I got over a fear of flying by just flying a lot. But I don't go to roller coaster. Like, if you go on a vacation, that's 2 flights that you're getting knocked out. At least 2, right?
Yeah.
If you're flying to wherever you're going, you got to fly back. Could be 6 flights. But the roller coasters, you have like a day where you just mainline roller coasters, and by the end of it, you're like, I'm not that anxious. Then you wait 2 years, and you get in line for another one, and your brain's like, oh, right, we're still afraid of this. And you're like, God damn it, brain. I thought we got over this. We have not gotten over it, though.
I'm trying to think if there's, you know, I don't mind the ride that's like the Tower of Doom, where it lifts you up real high
Yeah.
in a circle and then like drops you. Those aren't bad. I feel pretty safe in those, but when you're whipping me around and turning me upside down and like, I don't know, man.
Did you know that, like, on one of those... I mean, on every roller coaster, there's going to be one story of, like, well, a horrific accident happened, right? But on one of those, I think it was in the U.S., lady was going down, cable snapped, cut her foot off.
What?
Nice.
And then you still got, like, 4 seconds of being like, did my foot just fall off? And then you got to, like, reach the ground. People will be like, yo, where's
Yes.
your foot?
Oh my god, I will never get on one of those again.
Sorry.
Jeez. That is, I'd like my feet. Right where they
This-
are.
Sometimes people are like, why are you afraid of roller coasters? They're safe. And you're like, they're designed to elicit fear, okay? Like, it's just how you interpret that fear that changes things. I think, at least. Isn't being scared the fun of it, or is there actually some human emotion I don't have access to that is unlocked by roller coasters?
It's
endorphin
the
release.
adrenaline. Yeah.
Adrenaline's and endorphin all that hitting you at the same time. It's just a big freaking chemical cocktail in your brain.
Okay.
That's all. You're not missing anything that big.
and that sense of dread in your stomach that you're gonna
Yeah,
die
your
any
impending
second.
Yeah, but I get that like every floor there's like a curse of the blind. So
I mean, if I wanted that bad enough, I would just go on Deadliest Catch, dude. Like,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
good.
going naked and afraid.
Oh God, the
With Dan
bug
Giesley.
wounds. Whew. That, I want to see Dan on
So-
Survivor. That'd be
who
awesome.
gets to be the lady on Naked and Afraid with Nick and Dan Giesley? There's always a lady.
I think we'll decide each day.
Each day.
I know that we've each day, that is good. I know that we've already talked about this, but I think people are talking about like, you know, corrupt Olympic judges and stuff like that. Whoever's doing the PSRs for the Naked and Afraid contestants at Discovery is the most corrupt judge of all time. I don't understand, like, you can survive 21 days on this island. Your peers PSR when you start is like a 6.1, and then they're like, well, you know, she got dengue fever. She got dengue fever, and she still survived, and she was a great asset, so we're lowering her score by 0.2. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know how they determine that. They're like, they got in an argument, lowering their score
Yeah.
by a 3.9. You're just like, okay.
They
But
need to
they're
open
still
up
alive.
the books and make a call for help to bar rescue. No, they need to tell us exactly what the transparency is, like what is the problem that made everything sort of explained by what they did. And they just don't
Actually-
explain it.
They need to accept that my name is Rick Harrison, and this is my
Oh
pawn
God.
shop.
What is this meme? Where did this meme come from? I watch
I-
Pawn Stars.
I work here with my old man and my son, Big Hoss.
The Hoss Daddy.
I also did not know
Hoss.
about that meme until Rob was talking about it. And then I've seen
I
it
love Rob.
everywhere on the internet in the past 2 days.
Mhm.
Rob is our patient zero for memes, for sure.
No, Dan is.
No, Dan's still talking about, you know, Dan makes his own memes. He's like patient negative one.
Oh, I didn't know you do that.
He's the dude making the disease.
I'm still stuck on Harambe, honestly.
Yeah, I think that Harambe's run its course.
There's a really good Pokemon drawing of one though that somebody designed. that-
Of one? What, one?
Well,
Harambe?
it's Hambo, and then he evolves into Harambe,
Ah,
and he's
okay.
ghost fighting, and his special ability is Meat Shield.
Oh,
So,
God.
and there's 60,000 people that have signed the petition to make him a Pokemon. So, I mean, it might happen.
Hey, I didn't know we could just petition Pokemon into reality. Can we have Smugleaf then? Or Swolleaf?
Smugleaf.
Smugleaf is already a Pokemon. It's one of the starters.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, it's Nintendo, right? Actually, it's not a company. Nintendo's not the company that makes Pokemon. I don't think.
Game
Some
Freak.
other yeah,
Game Freak,
Freak.
Pokemon Company, something. Somebody
So
was
maybe.
like, when Pokemon Go was hitting it huge, somebody made an infographic. They're like, it's not that hard to understand. And then it was like, Nintendo and Game Freak co-own Pokemon, which is developed by the Pokemon Company, which is half owned by Nintendo. And also Niantic makes Pokemon Go, who was originally invested in by Google, but now they're owned partly by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Yeah, okay, you got it. No problem.
Easy to understand. Nice
Yeah.
and easy.
I like to
Game
think of them as
Freak.
Nyan
Niantic.
Ugh.
We're like not gonna update their game anymore in a way that
They
players are
added
happy.
grass.
My range has not gotten any better. I'm real scared for my life right now.
I rerolled my whole run, and now I have tech with homing tears.
Yo, how'd you do that whole
Fudge.
run?
There was a one dice room.
There was.
What?
I skipped it thinking, oh, this is the best strat.
I mean,
Sometimes it's
I'm not really much stronger than I was before, but I have an extra life now.
You have more range.
Yeah, I do
too.
have range now.
Yeah, his range is pretty bad. Can't deny that.
Please. 5 hearts and a dream. And a
People
Guppy's
are like-
collar.
I mean, look, I don't think Pawn Stars is a good show necessarily. However,
It's alright.
I saw somebody in chat be like, how is it the highest rated program on the History Channel? Well, it's the highest rated program on the History Channel because all that's on the History Channel now is ancient aliens, and also the Nazis went back in time and built a megastructure that's also a pyramid. It's just Nazi megastructures.
It happens.
And Nazi megastructures and Pawn Stars, that's it.
How is that even real history? Aliens and Nazi megastructures.
The
Pawn Stars is the closest to history.
So good.
How
so
many
stupid.
Nazi megastructures could there be? Is there even one?
It seems like they've reframed history, like the Nazis were some sort of alien race that have built these pyramids that exist in outer space, and we're gonna go find them and track down their hieroglyphics.
I mean,
Trying to say that
of
storage-
one day if we're
insane shit
lucky.
is this?
People are trying to say that Storage Wars is on the History Channel. It's on A&E, you fucking casual.
It's also rigged and not even real. They
Storage
plant
Wars-
things in there.
Storage Wars is Pawn Stars for people who are even dumber. And I say that as someone who unabashedly likes Storage Wars for a
I
long
watch
time.
it, but they
Yep.
rig it. They put things in
yes.
there on purpose.
Yep.
Watkins 577. Thank you very much for the subscription.
At least
think
I
a
had
lot
a
of
friend
people
that
on
went there
Stars.
once to one of the sets for it.
I think, like, I would really like Storage Wars a lot more if there was just maybe like 1 in 5 episodes. They're like, whoa, what's in this? And then they went to a commercial and they came back and it was just like a piece of dog shit. Like, if they just had like an episode that was realistic and they're like, well, Colby wasted his whole day at the storage auction. He spent $10,000, got a bunch of dog shit. You know, like that would.
Petrified
would've
dog
been-
shit.
They do lose money sometimes. It's not like they don't, but it's set up that they do.
There
Pawn
we
Stars,
go.
at least, I think, even though it is to some extent rigged, I feel like I'm learning something sometimes. And I also feel like a lot of it has to come down. The host, well, Rick, Rick Harrison, he seems to have an infectious respect for, the culture of the artifacts that he's looking
Yes.
at. He seems to have a passion for
Yeah.
it, and that's infectious, man.
And a lot of the time, he'll actually get them more money than what they're asking for because he'll pull in a
Yeah.
professional, and he'll be like, "All right," and then they'll come out on top.
Then on Storage Wars, it's literally like, I don't know anything about this. Looks like it's worth money, and they just.
Yeah, like I found this old Nintendo, and it's like, they're like, this will definitely be worth $5,000.
Yeah.
And they go on eBay, and it's like $12.
That's the way it should be. It should be like, oh, let's go bring in an expert. You know anybody who's really into Civil War era spoons? Fuck no. Just Google it. How much is my spoon worth? Oh, nothing.
They
All right.
always know a friend that that's like an expert in the area too. They don't never have to Google anything.
Well, they
We had
probably
a-
get connections, honestly. They do this for a living.
We had
But
our own
for
Pawn Stars
everything?
moment, though. At GP Portland, we had an Uber driver. He's like, "What are you guys in town for?" And we're like, "Oh, it's a card game." And he's like, "What card game?" We're like, "Magic the Gathering," and waited, to get beaten up and have our lunch money taken. And he goes, "Oh no shit! Like I played that when I was a kid. How much is like a Black Lotus worth these days?" We're like, I don't know. It could be like at least a couple of $1,000s, depending on the edition and the quality. Could be way more. And he's like, "Oh shit! I bought one when I was like 10. It's just sitting in my basement right now."
Oh my
You guys
God.
being serious? Like, I gotta go get that. And we're like, yeah, you should really, if you don't want it, you should go get it and go to the convention center this weekend and sell it to somebody.
Jesus.
For sure.
I would.
You got,
ugh, I want it.
You got thousands of dollars just chilling in your basement, dude.
Guy should be glad he talked to you and not somebody to try to grift him.
And there's an element of that in the Magic community.
I remember
People
looking
would've
at
been
those
like,
through the
$10
glass
bucks.
case, man, and just being like one day, but I was like 12, so
Yeah.
couldn't
To
afford
be fair,
it.
it's not like he didn't unpack it. He said as a 15-year-old, he bought it for like $200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he might have been living with remorse for the past 10 or 15 years.
The math checks out, by the way. That's about what they were worth when I was a kid,
He's
too.
like, I could have bought a bike, but I bought this
Yeah.
damn card.
Stupid cards just sitting in my basement.
I used it 3 times. I bought a bunch of Pokemon cards thinking my girlfriend would play a bunch with me, and I beat her 6 times in a row, and now she doesn't want to play
no.
anymore.
Oh,
I didn't mean to. I'm playing a pre-made deck. I swapped out 2 cards. I was like, I'll swap decks with you if you think it's the deck. I just want to play, man. I just want to be the Pokemaster. But, to no avail. The problem with Pokemon, though, is, it's really one-sided. Like, if you get ahead, it's really hard for the opponent to come back.
I catch
it
more
was-
Pokemon.
The card game is well respected, though, I think. That's the impression that I have from the Magic side, is people that play Magic are like, it's not the game for me, but it's actually really good, and they're very envious of the first-party online platform for it, because Magic the Gathering Online looks and plays like it was built in 1994.
Yeah, but it was built in 1996, so...
Yeah, it was only 2 years behind schedule when it was originally created.
I am probably gonna die here. I'm real scared.
Yeah, me too. I'm hanging on for dear life. I turned into Lazarus,
no.
too, because fuck everything, I guess.
That's pretty okay.
Apparently, Tabletop Sim has a Pokemon card game, Cobalt.
Yeah, but like,
Yep.
you should just play like the
Really?
actual first party one, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is an actual one.
it's a little clunky.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to play it if you don't want to, it's fine.
Daddy needs a battery. Come on.
Still rolling Satanic Bible?
Yeah. And I'm still dying, because I've been playing loosey-goosey thinking, oh, this is no problem.
Yeah, you
And I
think you
get
got
to
all
the
this stuff
chest.
coming your way, and it never shows up.
I had it, and I lost it. Just
Oh.
range, man. Oh.
It was honestly, it was a pretty hard group of rooms at a certain point, too.
The chest has been merciless so far. I've had so many tiny monstro rooms, and I've had mega cage mother
I don't want to hear
truckers.
this.
Ugh.
NL, are you and Kate getting From the Vault lore this weekend? Look, I didn't even know this Magic the Gathering product
What does that mean?
existed. Don't tell Kate it exists. Because you know, they always do this thing like at PAX, they're like, we got 10 of these that we're selling at manufacturer suggested retail price. All you gotta do is line up at 3 in the morning. And then they'll line up. They'll go
I guess
line
you're
up
going
for
to that now.
and then they'll resell them for like $50 more than the manufacturer suggested retail price. And then
Dirty.
that's where we buy in. But as long as we don't know that it exists, then it's no problem.
These items are still cardboard, right?
Yeah, there's still some of them are foiled though.
Yeah, they're shiny. Okay. And
I
there
don't
it is.
actually know what From the Vault lore is, but From the Vault are like the best cards in a certain flavor set reprinted. Like From the Vault Angels is like the best Angels we've ever printed, and then there's like 20 of them or something.
The Sarah Angel. The
Probably-
Sierra Angel that made
I
the
would
Oh,
expect-
yeah.
would
I used to have
expect
Sarah
Sarah
Angels.
Angel to be in there.
I used to have the first edition Sarah Angels back in the day. I traded a
I
Vampiric
believe-
Tutor for one.
Oh no.
Is that not a good trade?
Not anymore, probably. I believe that for a while it was like the most valuable card, or one of them. It was like that and like Shivan Dragon or something like that.
fuck.
I had
Yeah,
one of
Shivan
those
was my
too.
Dude, Red Fireball and Shivan. That was me.
They're not considered that good anymore.
And the Will-o'-the-Wisp with the Lich deck.
Oh man, I had that too. I had the Nightmares and the Sanger Vampires.
Nightmare and the Singer Vampire, and then you eventually graduate to the Elf deck, and then you just have like 2,000 health.
I have also
Okay.
died on my run.
I'm still alive somehow.
I'm really salty with the seed, actually.
This is an interesting one because it actually gave you a lot of good stuff, but it also was hard.
Yeah.
I just
Rarely
rushed
does
it.
that happen.
a
rushed
single
it.
range upgrade would have been welcome. I'll tell you
I
that.
got
much.
one in the womb.
I'm just gonna do
What?
it. Basil.
Where did you get that? I didn't look around very much in the womb.
I also did not get a range upgrade in the womb.
There were pills. I think
I
I found
don't
a secret
take
room.
those.
I had an
Oh,
I Can See
yeah.
Forever pill.
Joker card. It better be a Judas as shit. Nope.
Chad, do me a favor. Don't be salty that we lost one of the 4,000 Isaac runs we're gonna do this year. Okay?
Right.
I see the comment. It says you always throw because you're not paying attention. This
We're
game's
talking,
fucking
okay?
5 years old at this point, man. We're trying to create conversational gold at this point, rather than just another Isaac win. It's a transformative piece of media. Sometimes, in order to pay attention, you have to not pay attention. That's what
That's
I
when you go into
believe.
the flow state, the Isaac flow state.
Exactly.
Do I go for the lard or do I go for the card? I'm gonna go for the lard.
Lard of the card.
Go for the large. You go for the
Durl and Merle.
Come on,
Has anyone
Envy.
ever played Merle and Durrell's game?
I would love to at this point. I think it's prime for me to play it.
That's how it works, right?
Prime
Like
time.
with games that are really bad, it's like if you play it the year it comes out, it's like, what are you doing with your life? But then 3 years later, you're like, I gotta play Merlin Durrell's game.
Time plus tragedy equals comedy.
That's a very eloquent way to put it. Yes.
Oh my goodness. I think my fly killed the gluttony before I could kill the envy. Oh no. Emperor card? Oh no! I'm gonna die!
Saved by glitter fucking bombs in this run?
Yo, glitter bombs, pretty solid item.
It keeps hooking me up with health when I think I'm about to die. Ooh.
I want these glitters. Please. Please. Oh, if I can just clear 2 more rooms, I can get an extra heart, but chances of me losing one are pretty up
Does
there.
Epiphoria do anything with technology, or is it just sort of like a waste of time?
Does what do anything with technology?
Epiphoria.
I have no idea, actually.
I'm sure it makes you shoot faster in the direction you're holding.
Yeah, I would imagine it probably does work. Apparently that item is really good, and I have no respect for it.
I don't run into it enough. Feels sort of rare, actually.
I'm gonna
There's a
try to
couple
grind
of
another
items-
heart out.
A couple of items where I'm just like, I don't care. Sure, it's good, whatever, you know? Radiohead's new
terrible.
album is probably good too, but like, let's go, you know, live our lives. Can't just be listening to new Radiohead albums once every 5 years. What am I, made of time?
No, you'd be a clock.
Is that how that works?
What else would they be made of, if not time?
I don't know. Hopefully steel so they don't break down in 100 years, as we discussed earlier.
Have you
I
seen
wonder
our
if they
crumbling
still
infrastructure?
make wooden roller coasters. Like, new ones, because they seem kind of
Yeah, in
outdated to
Sweden.
me.
There's probably
Mhm.
hundreds of them.
23 times 3. Thank you as well. Do you think there's a there's like an artisan wooden roller coaster? Like people will ride like King Ka, but then they'll be like, ugh, today's modern roller coasters have no respect for the architectural artistry.
100% guarantee that exists.
I don't even know why I asked. You have to be right in this situation. Okay, like on the subject of roller coasters and human emotions I don't understand, what is the point of the roller coasters that just spin you?
It just spin you.
You know, like the scrambler or the octopus or something like that.
You loops. People love loops. Cuts the oxygen off to the brain. It's another chemical cocktail.
Not a loop, a spin on the X-plane.
You're going in circles?
Yeah.
360-degree circles?
360 degrees in the X direction, yes. Like imagine the
I've
way
never seen that, actually.
the way you spin a top. The way you spin a top.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I just don't think I've seen it.
That sounds horrible.
The ones that just make you dizzy.
If
I
you
would
mean
vomit.
The teacups, I don't consider that a roller coaster at all.
Well, okay, a theme park ride, whatever.
Oh my god, I just won with 1 heart left. I've lost 2 on the blue baby fight.
Congratulations.
Holy moly.
You go hard on Hardwick.
I can die happy after that one.
It's
My
not,
whole life, just
I had
for that moment.
still